UndergroundHipHopBlog.com. This your boy Spec the Kid. Spec the Kid 2000 now. Instagram, Spec the Kid. Twitter, Aspect1. Follow your boy. What up, though? My definition of underground hip hop is just that raw purity. It's that music that everybody can't reach, but it definitely is very passionate. And not to say that there's other forms of music that aren't, but I feel like when it comes to underground hip hop, it's set a standard as far as being like independent, very lyric driven and thought provoking hip hop, and very conscious of uplifting the community. So those are some of the base feelings that I have as far as underground hip hop goes. I think that it's expanded, as far as being able to touch more things as far as languages and other cultures, and being able to tie in other subcultures and subgenres of things into the whole underground hip hop premise. If you're talking about graffiti, or you're talking about just fashion, or you're talking about just education. We have a lot of teachers in hip hop now, and we've had a lot of hip hop guys who have turned into teachers, or vice versa. So I think that there's like a balance when it comes to that. Well, just growing up musically, my dad was a DJ. He was a hip hop DJ, and he wasn't like a famous guy or anything like that. He went by DJ Panama Red, like early on in the day, in the early hip hop days. He graduated high school in '74, so that would let you know he was there. Um, I have always been a part of the music. My dad kind of showed me samples early on, and I was just always like in love with like music. And once I really got a chance to make music, and just six and seven, making music with my cousin Eddie Brock from New York, super rapping, Kev Brown, Odyssey. That Eddie Brock, not the one from Bakersfield, but with him, we were able to just kind of make music and just kind of travel and just go down the route. And as I got older and I started having more relationships with other artists out here, just started with Missing Page, and just kind of had an indie grind. Got to be a part of Project Blowed, was a part of battle rap for a huge time. As a battle rapper, as a battle host, I brought the jump off out here to the West Coast, was one of the founders of like really helping push King of the Dot into the next level when it came to hip hop out here, and also bringing URL out here. So I've been a part of the music and the hip hop for a very long time, as well as a producer with, a lot of different just placements from Vast Air to Elzai, Catch Lungs, Il Camille, Dalium, Satire, No Can Do. Like the list goes on. Like, I think I'm one of those guys that are really underground and like under the radar when it comes to the music. So hopefully, this year people will really start getting an opportunity to check some of my back catalog out, and also some of the other things that I've done as far as the community. So, in a nutshell, that's been me. Well, the album drops February 20th. It's called Retrospect. I've been pretty much working on it since last February. It's basically a look into me. Like, when you say, well, looking back in retrospect, I felt this way or such and such, for example. And that's kind of what I wanted to give the public for this project. I wanted people to look back in retrospect and be like, yo, this guy's had hella dope music for years. And this project's actually culminated the actual finishing touches of what he's been trying to show us for years. Like throughout the years from Missing Page, like the music's gotten better and better and better and enhanced. And I think with this project, I actually spent a lot of time just sitting and like working, making beats, and spending a week at a time working on a song and just delivering and putting a real project together. Nothing that felt like a mixtape or a beat tape. It felt like a complete album, from interludes to just songs to just the vibration. And the whole message of Retrospect is just to feel good, uplift, to share, to like to be forgiven, like to feel better about yourself, to tell the truth. Like, like there's been parts of my life where I've been a fucked up dude, where I've lied to girls, or I've lied to family, or I've lied to friends, or the other side, I've been lied to or hurt or disrespected. And it's just all about that. It's just about sharing that entire truth, and every story on the album is like real. It's not really talking about how dope of an MC I am. It's really just talking about like my truth, stories about my dad and my mom, stories about me losing love, or anger problems I had in my past, or just frustrations I've had musically. But those are small little tidbits of the project. The overlying feeling is just being happy and successful and driven and motivated and the love. So that's retrospect for you right there. It's all me. Well, music since the beginning has always been fueled by drugs. Like, if you listen to music in the 60s, there was barbiturates and pills and LSD and mushrooms, and Woodstock was a huge time for drugs. And in the 70s, you had blow, you had a bunch of other drugs that, started becoming a big part of that movement as well. The 80s, it was crack. And, you had White Lines and you had The Message. You had a lot of these songs that talked about drugs. Like, drugs has always been a part of the American culture, not just rap and not just hip hop. And I feel like the younger generation has always been that in hip hop. It's always been the counterculture. It's always been the older dudes like, yo, like this is the way we want the rap to go. And the younger kids are like, nah, fuck that. This is the new generation. This is what we want. And I think we need both of those things. We need educators that are saying, hey, like slow your ass down because some of us didn't make it to 50 because of what we did in our 20s. And then you need some 20-year-olds that are like, yo, fuck that old man shit. Like, let us live and like experience our experiences ourselves, so we can learn from our own mistakes and also be able to give the advice that we need to and hand that down. So there becomes a balance. I mean, for me personally, I like smoking tree. That's always been my thing. I'm not really like a big drug advocate. I'm not gonna tell somebody that, hey, let's drink a four tonight. Like let's drink an eight or some quality. Like, and I'm around it and I'm around people that they indulge and they do things. And it's not for me to tell them, hey, like, don't fuck your life off. But at the same time, just going through like hella issues with health and other things throughout my life as well, like you gotta make sure you take care of yourself, whatever you're doing. Like if you drinking pints of lean, make sure when you wake up in the morning you drink a fucking gallon of water. You know what I mean? If you fucking with Xannies or some shit, like make sure that you're eating and you're taking care of your stomach, because these things are meant to like they're prescribed for you to beat something. So if you're doing that shit with nothing wrong with you, you're damaging yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like fuck with probiotics and shit. Like do things to help your body. So there's the hip hop side of it too, where we're very health conscious and, very earthy, but we have the counter side of it where we are very druggy and very abusive. So, like, I'm an abusive weed smoker to some. I don't judge anybody else for doing what they do, but at the same time, it's game. Like I'm about to be 40 in a couple days. Like it's game. I got here by pacing myself. So, just pace yourself. This year, retrospect, that's the main thing I'm working on this year. I was thinking about putting out an instrumental album, but I have a lot of those out now. So, you guys can go back and get either Balance or Black History or any of those other projects. Vibe Radio is probably like my most critically acclaimed project. And, just working with different artists. I have a lot of cats that I'm working with from EOTR, Il Camille, a bunch of other people just building and working. So got those project with my cousin Eddie Brock from New York as well. The Lit Life Studios, just building the studio brand up and making that a place where people can come, relax, like feel comfortable, feel like they can really grow in my spot. And just developing this content, hopefully be working with Underground Hip Hop, blog a lot more, just doing more things as far as that goes, and just hopefully sharing like my creative, waves with LA and more people. So that's literally what I'm on. What we're on is just staying wavy, staying fresh, staying fly, staying pressed, staying on point, staying focused, staying driven, staying legit. So if that's all we on, that's all we on, and that's where we got to be, and that's where I plan on being. So yeah. Yo, so this is your boy Spec, UndergroundHipHopBlog.com. Check me out, Spec the Kid on Instagram, Aspect1 on Twitter, Aspect1 on Spotify, iTunes, SoundCloud, all other forms of digital media. Pick up any of the projects there, litlifestudios.com. Much love.